Hello, Laura. I can hear you very well.
Wonderful. Hi everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to Thursday. You look beautiful
Uh,
in your beautiful dress.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I had to wear a Grain Line dress for our great, because we
Yes.
launched our retreats this week, one of which was the Grain Line Studio Sewing Weekend. So I figured, gotta pull out the Grain Line hits. So this is my Austin dress, so swingy, so
It's
summery,
beautiful. All
beautiful
the
and perfect.
mix and match patterns with the cute side buttons. Everybody loves
Yeah,
that.
it's a good one. It's a real good one. I like how when Jen was advertising this dress, she said it has the perfect pockets for dog treats. And isn't that just the exact way that I use them? It really, I was
I would
just
imagine.
outside running around, put dog treats in my pocket.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is a great opener because we have had a lot. We have both had a very busy week and we did lots of launching on Monday. It's amazing.
Yes.
Uh, yes, and we've already sold out one of our retreats, which is really fabulous.
Yeah, Galentine's weekend. People ask me a lot, well, what's the programming? The programming for Galentine's weekend is you just hang out. And some people love that, and some people are like, I need more programming. And those people signed up for our Sweater Club retreat. But as it turns out, people just want to hang out.
Yeah, which is fine. We don't need to work
Well, it's
harder.
more
We
than
always feel like we
fine.
have to.
We love when you just want to hang out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it is, there's something for everyone is the point. Some people will come to a very programmed retreat and still want to hang out, which is also fine. Some people come with their own agenda, also fine. It's just a lovely time. I'm still looking forward to it. We always talk about in the spring when we're wrapping up retreat season, how we're going to miss Dahlia. It kind of feels like our second home. So I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
seeing it again and saying
me
hello
too. Yeah, me
and
too.
Sundrop.
Yep. Super excited. We're planning for our retreats in October, catering orders, looking at making sure that we don't kill anybody accidentally with their nut allergies, normal shit like that.
Hmm.
So we're pumped about that. But yeah, then this winter retreats are going to be awesome. Winter
They're coming
Wonderland.
up.
Yeah, coming
Yes.
up. If you've got questions about the retreats, I was thinking it would be fun, Laura, to invite Jen Beeman on our live program
Yes.
coming up and get her to chit chat. She really hates doing that kind of thing, but I feel like I can talk her into it.
I think you can. And she has been popping up more on TikTok and in the social media space. So I think she is ready. Her camera equipment is ready. It's just a matter of getting her to push the buttons to come. So I think we can get there.
Yeah, I think we can do it too. All right, well, stay tuned for that. But yeah, if
Yes.
you are joining us live today and you have got questions, drop them in the chat. We are here to help and get people to come hang out with us, which we love. That's our favorite thing.
Yeah. So wait to come perfectly dressed. It will be just a good teaser for our future guest, Jen Beeman. That's perfect.
Yes,
No pressure,
exactly.
Jen, but all the
TBD.
pressure.
Yeah, TBD on that. All right. Well, I thought last week we started with a sleeve temper update right off the
Yes.
jump. Laura, I thought we'd start there again. I
Perfect.
have fresh numbers. We
Great.
are, as of this morning, at 39% finished.
Okay.
39%. That is huge. Because I feel like
Coming
last
right
week we were
along.
at like 20%. So today is Self-Care Thursday over at the party, and people are sharing their self-care self-care tips.
Yeah.
Man, it's bad when self-care doesn't even sound like a real thing. That's not a good sign. Yeah.
Well, it's for real, and it's open to interpretation as we're seeing those posts come in, because everyone has their own definition, which I love. So it's like running the gamut what people are sharing, which is very fun. You had a very
Yep.
special post that you shared. I thought that was very inspiring.
My favorite cocktail right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sometimes that's nice. I really like self-care in the form of like taking the time to, like, I love taking the time to make myself dinner. I feel like that's really nice. Taking the time to make myself a nice cocktail. Those are things that I really like to do. It's like working for yourself, which is my favorite kind of self-care. So yeah, so I shared my favorite cocktail that I'm making right now. Laura, I made myself this cocktail in front of you on Saturday because I wasn't sure if you would like it or not, but I did give you a sip and you said that it was a thumbs up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was delicious. A beautiful sunny color too. Very on brand with your dress. It was just really beautiful, and it was based on a cocktail that we had when we had a fun night out together too. So what's not to like?
Yeah, what's not to like? So I saw your weird book seat pop up. Shout out to Christy Kane, the pusher of the book seat.
Yeah, it's really the Christy book seat. Don't want to, no stolen valor here. She's the reason for the book seat season, but I do love it.
Yeah, it is a pillow that you strap your book into, and it makes it sit up. The book seat.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes some people really happy. I'm not sure. I'm not a proponent. Laura, do you know, is it Kindle friendly?
It is. Yes, it is. It's very low tech, and just has a little bit of plexiglass and like a bungee cord, and so it just acts as a holder. It works for cookbooks too. So yeah, the book seat really runs the gamut. The stuffing of mine has a particular scent though. It's just a little, I can't keep it in my room. Yeah, that's a toughie. It's kind of stinky to me, but if I just don't use it in bed and it's fine. But yeah, whatever's stuffing it, oof, it's a toughie. Just smells plasticky. But the function, I love. The smell, hopefully it'll just wear out over time.
Huh. Weird.
I know. It's a bummer.
Well, it can't be perfect. It can't be perfect.
No. So it's fine though. I still use it all the time. I just can't keep it by the bed. I have to throw it out of the room, which is always a sight to see, because mine, as you know, is poop brown. So it's just like flying like poo emoji at 11 o'clock at night. I'm glad I don't have to explain to myself. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah. So don't get the brown one, everyone.
Yeah.
That might be the stinky one. They might be leaning into that Coke.
Whatever, ask yourselves with the savings at what cost. It wasn't worth it. I should have gone for the fancy. So now I'm going to work on a book seat cover, and maybe that'll contain some of the smell.
Oh, like a plastic canvas or something.
Yeah.
Suck it in. Yeah.
Keep it in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, keep us posted.
I will. I know you're all invested.
We are. All right. So if you need an excuse to slow down, take a breather, do some stretching, maybe watch a yoga video, make yourself a cocktail. These are all self-care Thursday tips. But don't worry, we'll never have another self-care Thursday again until next year. So don't worry about it. All right. So Sleep-timber going on all cylinders, and remember, around here we have 31 days in Sleep-timber.
Thank goodness.
So
Thank goodness.
we have that extra day, and that might be what puts us over.
I mean, I think but the overall trend is up. We love to see it. I think that is wonderful news. And once again, the timing of Sleep-timber, very well thought out by Allyson, because this is exactly the time where you start crashing. So it's good to have, take a little something, do something silly or fun or reading or relaxing or drinking that will loosen you up and remind you to like get off the couch and like take a couple laps.
Yeah, that's good. So I, Laura, have made wild strides this week
Yeah.
in my sleeve timber goals.
Oh my gosh, we have to do show and tell. We have to.
Last week, I think I maybe had one finished sleeve or one maybe finished sleeve of my framed sweater.
Yes.
Today, I have a fully finished framed sweater.
This is huge
finished
news and super well coordinated with the costume of the day. I mean, look at this. Like, that is insane. I can't believe it's only been a week. That is beautiful. It's just dazzling.
Yeah, I love it. It is perfect. I wish it wasn't 89 degrees out so I could put it on, but I will not. I will not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. I look at me with this skirt. I look like Andrea Bowery. Literally, I look like
Andrea Bowery. Yep. Get this girl to the rocky coasts of Maine. She's ready. She's ready to go.
I'll just be walking and knitting. Yeah. So FO, 2 sleeves done, sweater done. Feel great about that. I feel like that's going to get so much wear. I modified the shit out of that pattern along with the people who are taking my framed knit along right now. If you are hashtag influenced by how good that framed look, you should take my upcoming framed class that starts in November.
Oh my gosh. You absolutely should.
You absolutely
I can't believe. You cannot believe, I can't believe that no one is, like, I'm sure it's full already, and everyone that's watching this has already signed up, but if you haven't, what are you talking about? Get on board.
Yeah, come join. It's a lot. We do it all. We resize it. We resize everything. Put in a V-neck if if you're feeling crazy like I was. I feel like the V-neck kind of makes it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting some fun facts in the chat. That's fascinating. But yeah,
I walks and knits an average of 10 miles a day. That just sounds like, I don't know. I'm not agile enough for that. I am prone.
One or the other.
I gotta be walking or I gotta be knitting. Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, people are saying they're having a hard time believing it. We'll just leave it at that. I do have too much. I have the AC on, so I can brave this for one moment. My goals are humming along. It's lower impact because I'm going one at a time here. And so I'm jumping back and forth between sweaters rather than sticking to one. So it doesn't look like much, but to me, this sleeve is a lot. So I'm very happy with it. Well, I can mime just as easily. This is my sleeve, and it is beautiful. For those of you that can hear me, that's my sleeve. So this, though, still need to knit. So let's see now. They counted the bobbles and said it was very pretty, which I loved. So that's that. And then they all have lots of compliments lined up for you just to keep us chatting. But yeah, that's my progress so far. I've got the one bobble sleeve. You've got a finished framed, and if people don't follow you on Instagram, they absolutely should to check out that on your body, because you just can't today. It's a million degrees.
Yeah. Just can't do it. One day I will, and I will love that so much for me because it's fun to have a new sweater.
It is. I know, and it's just we had a brief tease of sweater weather here in Chicago. You went abroad and had plenty of sweater weather, and so I was just like ready to engage that time of year, and it's now we're back to full summer. It's a real shame.
But that's okay. We can live in this world where then you just remember the beautiful sweaters that you made when you couldn't wear them. It's like getting them new again later.
It is pretty fun. It is fun. I have been reorganizing the closet, and I keep getting excited for all the fun stuff I get to wear any day now.
Okay, so I also have, I finished my framed, and then I have at that point I had 3 sleeves left to knit, and so I turned my attention to my Joe.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Ah,
And
wow.
so I
This is
have,
a live update. I have not seen this. So this is a true reaction. Holy shit.
and you can hear me. Isn't that exciting?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
can.
So I finished this sleeve and then I am almost so close to finishing this sleeve too. So these are my Joe sleeves.
It's incredible. And it's done. Everyone always is like, oh, you really crop your sweaters. So I feel like we should troll them and you should just be like, it's finished.
I could do that. I could because I have two finished,
You
basically
do.
sleeves. I
Yeah.
could just like kind of hold it down here and be like, look at
Yep.
my finished sweater.
Oh,
Just kidding. My boobs are hanging out of the bottom of it.
this, which is a look. It is a look.
It is a
But that is unbelievable. If people aren't actively signing up for Framed, they are absolutely saving their money and to sign up for Joe. It's Joe o'clock.
Joe o'clock. It's Joe o'clock. Yeah, I'm pumped about this one. It's just crazy enough to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. I mean, again, we talked about this a little bit in your Instagram comments, but the collar, like the straight sleeve, is just like, oh, it just is so pleasing,
Yeah.
and I'm loving the chart. I'm asking a question I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to. Do you have to heavily modify that pattern?
The pattern, I don't know why it is the way that it is. And I feel like you can really see it in the Ravelry finished projects for this sweater, because this sweater does not fit anyone, the way that it is written. The proportions between
One
the
of these.
well, people aren't even wearing it.
Ooh, that's not a good sign.
And this also happens if you look through the Paul Klee sweater. They're all like laying in grass. They're all like laying out. They're all on a hanger. You got to put this on a body. And once you
Yes.
put it on the body, you're like, oh shit, that does not make any sense because the sleeves are so big. The body is so narrow, which means the yoke needs to be really tight. The yoke is not tight. You're making really beautiful straight jackets with giant sleeves. It is wild. It is wild.
That's tough. Yeah, that's
It's a tough proportion.
just wear a blanket at that point. So, well, all the more reason that people are going to want to, that class is going to fly off the shelves. I have
Yeah,
every confidence.
I am excited to see what people's color combinations are. I
Yeah.
used a lot of colors, but there are some really cool ones that are just two colors too. So you could really do anything with it. It's
I
really
feel
fun.
like I feel like that pattern, because it's so versatile, like there's so many different ways to go, it feels like watching like a movie with a random character actor and you're like, why do I know that? Like I look at the sample of that and I look at your sweater. Sometimes it's hard for me to connect that it's the same sweater, aside
Yes.
from the fit piece as well. But like it's so versatile. Like that is one of my favorite ways to teach a class when people can go any number of
Yes.
directions. That is
Yeah.
so much fun. That's just fun to participate in as a
Yeah.
student.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. I'm really excited about it. I've already
Mhm.
raised out all the charts so we can pick and choose what colors and put them on the charts and everything. So it's going to be a great class. It is going to start in January. All right. So it'll open for registration in November. So we still got some time
Mhm.
for it. So I'll just be wearing this sweater. You'll just be like, it'll just imprint on you. So then you'll need to take the class starting in the new year. So yeah,
And
get your finances in order, start collecting some colors.
that is
Yeah.
correct. I love that. Wow. Yeah. So as promised, tons of progress. And we started this week our in-person sweater club for fall. We had our very first sweater club moment, and I saw in person some of the sock sleeves you were showing off last week. That beautiful sock from Hedgehog Fibers. You have started your second. Have you made
Yes.
any progress on that bad boy?
No.
You've been awfully busy. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's on the needles, but that's still in your goal pile,
That's
right?
in my goal pile. Yep. So I just decreased for my balloon sleeve. I have like 10 rounds of ribbing to do and a tubular bind off, and then that sleeve's done. And then I
Which
have
is the September goal. Boop.
September goal 6, and then
It's gonna
that
move that
sock is
percentage up.
7.
So we thank you for your service.
Yes, yes, exactly. And this is going to go in the bag because I can't with the body. I have like 17 things to do before I have to knit that body.
Yeah, that's good. Very, very smart prioritizing there.
Yes, got to. Yeah, which is why the class isn't starting until January.
Yeah, I see the vision. I do.
Yeah. So yeah, I have been knitting sleeves like crazy this week. I feel so good. We have like 12 days of Sleeve-timber left. I really feel like I've nailed this and I get to stop worrying now.
Yeah, great. And it's only the 19th. I
Yeah,
love not worrying on the 19th.
I know.
Fab.
Done it.
So
Done
good.
the things. Yeah, I feel good about it. Laura, what are you hoping you accomplish by the end of the month?
I am hoping to have 2 finished sweaters. I am hoping to have a completed porcelain. I'm hoping to have a completed Louise, and I am over the hump. I finished my my vest, so that is complete. I finished a sleeve of each. Those are complete. So I'm 3 out of 5 of my goals. So that means it's literally downhill from here. And it's going to be good. I have a good weekend ahead of me, a good chunk of time. I took a little bit of just like mental health break for self-care Thursday. I've been like fiddling with some sewing projects just to get my head around some things. And then I can just park it on that couch and it'll just fly. I'm very excited.
Nice.
So yeah, it's this is the part where those sweaters normally go back into bags, and then they sit there and collect cobwebs for a year. So I'm so pumped to have this further time to just get me 2 new sweaters. Yay!
Yeah, that's going to feel great. And I know you're not alone. I know a lot of people out there are finishing sweaters for Sleeve-timber, and they're super excited too. It just feels really good to turn whips into FOs. And that's what this month is all about. So yeah,
Yep.
it.
Love it.
Love it.
So, well, the new biz is I have finally put up stuff for Sock-tober. So our next knit along is very chill energy, but it's Sock-tober, baby. We are talking all things socks for the month of October. And this is very strategically planned because Allyson and I have a lot of travel coming up. And the most portable projects, as I'm learning from Sleeve-timber, it is really hard to throw all these sweaters in bags to take back and forth to my classes in Evanston. So the sock is the perfect travel project. So I've put together a bundle. I have put together 2 live dates for check-ins. And I have most importantly fished out my spooky sock, my spooky chunky sock yes, but you know what? Talk about need to see it on. This thing does fit me. But my cutie little cauldron witch broom, witch hat sock have been languishing for a year, and hard to tell with with all of the extreme lighting that I need to use. But it does have really cute neon potion bubbles too. So I want to finish my little spooky sock, which will be perfect because October wraps up October 30th. So it'll be ready for Halloween. But yeah, love a spooky sock. I have fished out my fabulous holder. Shout out to Karen. My fabulous doodles and their official holder with the branded sticker. And then this is my travel doodle that I can take them out and keep them from getting junked up. So I'm just like, we're in planning stages. Everything is ready to go for kickoff. So that is my great. Okay, everything is just coming unplugged in my life. But yeah, so that is the exciting news. It's October, more fabulous prizes. And that's another like self-care thing that I like to do when I'm hitting the wall. I like to plan other projects. So plan, but not get derailed because we'll be right back on track this weekend. Got to get those sleeves done. So that's my big news.
I'm
There
very
we go.
excited about Sock-tober. I've literally never participated in Sock-tober before, but this is going to be my first year. And I'm making spooky socks too. I'm really excited about it. I ordered yarn because Knit Picks was having a 20 or 30% off
That's
Halloween
huge.
colored yarn sale. And I was like,
Hello.
duh. Yeah, I'll take some stroll fingering in black, gray, and orange, bright orange. So I'm
Yes.
gonna make striped socks with pumpkins along the cuff.
I mean, that is so cute. I know, it's so freaking cute. And I don't know about you, but all over my Instagram feed is Stone Knits and all of her teeny tiny little sock designs with little bats and ghosts and strawberries. If you haven't seen them, that's okay because they are in the official bundle. So absolutely no need to worry. But yes, I have 2 little live dates posted in the party. I have a little article with a link to the bundle. So plan away, get your yarn in order, because I know, like, right here in this bin is all of my sock yarn. So play around with it, plan, and then work on that sleeve. And then join me on October 2nd for Sock-tober. So that's my big exciting news.
That is exciting. Because that right around that time we were gonna be sick of sweater knitting, so we need a break.
Yep, for sure. Just a little something, and doing a dumb little like seasonal. It'll also be like a good teaser for seasonal project, because then we've got holiday sweater knit along coming up. So
Sweater knit along, exactly. Oh my God, more sweaters. Whew.
gotta have them. Gotta have them.
There's a lot of knitting happening around here.
Yeah. Last year I did holiday vest. Can't recommend that one enough. That was in the wake of Sleeptember. That was what I could commit to, and that's what I got done.
Yeah, and it turned out great.
Thank you. Yes, I'm excited to get that out of the trunk too. Miss that most of all. My little tooting reindeer. Miss her.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of like April 30th, when you're just like, I'm done with all of these cold weather clothes and I'm ready to wear my skirts and my dresses. That's what this is now. We're moving on, but the world is not moving on with us.
No, too warm, but we'll get there together. That's what community is all about, because we all know what we're talking about. We all know the feeling, and it helps to process it as a group.
Yes, it does.
So that's my big business. We also
RSVP to a bunch of that stuff.
How would you do it?
No, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yes, great. Fab. Yes, lots of links in the article. It'll be fun, chill, and we're doing prizes raffle style, so it's just more point salad. Very exciting stuff. But we also, speaking of business, we talked about Sweater Club. We have a few more spots for this Monday's Sweater Club. If you live in Chicago or you're traveling to Chicago this Monday, would love to see you 6 to 8 p.m. You can do that. And we also, this Friday, no matter where you are in the world, we have another Level Up coming up.
Yes, we do. We're going to talk about bus darts.
That's right. It's a question that comes up a lot. Yeah. And we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about darts. We'll talk about short rows. And just general fit questions, I suppose. Show up and ask a question, and we'll do our best to answer it. That's what I'm saying.
Will. Yeah, we will. So, that is tomorrow evening, Friday night.
Yes, it is Thursday.
It is Thursday today, which means tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, Friday night Level Up series. That is 6:30 to 7:30. We can't wait to see you there. Talking about bus darts. We're going to talk about pros and cons to bus darts.
That's right. Pause for effect. I'm not frozen. I'm just paused for effect. I need to clarify, since we're having such.
I'll be like, God damn it, not again.
Yeah. Just it's. I'm pausing for the joke. I need. There you go. I know.
Mighty Networks is driving me to drink a delicious cocktail that I can make myself. after I hold this emotional support chicken.
This morning, we chatted about this at knit night, but this is another, just talking about going through the archives of stuff. This project we made a while back, and I love I love that it's evergreen. I'm finding so much comfort in it for this terrible election cycle. It's just nice. I love her.
I love your the ribbons that you added.
Yeah, I do too. I just felt like this had suffragette vibes, and I wanted it to feel kind of like rosette or bunting, you know.
It's cute.
So I probably need a sexier pin than just a safety pin, but it'll get the job done.
It looks better than what the back of mine looks like.
Yeah, I just glued some felt on canvas.
Oh, smart.
Canvas.
Yeah,
hot glue.
I didn't really. We were in desperate need. I mean, we still are in desperate need, obviously. But I didn't have time to do any finishing. You had to slap.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was time. It was time. And yeah, I just feel like I hear John Philip Sousa when I put this on. So, although, yeah, I guess I did do these extra loops too. I went a little crazy, but it's because of hot glue. I was just really into the hot glue life with her.
You gotta hot glue it. I feel like my emotional support chicken should be
yes,
adorned.
Mrs. Shellhammer knows what's what. But yeah, this was just a fun little project, and I'm dying for another stitchy, just a little quick stitch.
Yeah.
So that's it's bringing me joy, sparking joy.
Mrs. Shellhammer wanting you to vote. She says, "Why aren't you registered to vote?"
She's like, "You're not registered? What's wrong with you? Are you crazy?"
What Taylor Swift said.
What? Yeah.
This is an emergency. Okay.
Are you nuts? That's what she's saying.
Are you stupid? Come on.
I die. Vote.org.
So I really like this sitting next to me. I do feel calmer.
Yeah, see? It worked like a charm.
Yeah. Well, great.
But
I'm so
yeah.
excited about every single thing that we're doing, except our bus starts level up.
So I know it's knitted bust darts, but I have really gone down the rabbit hole this week I don't know that this classifies as pop culture, but it's off topic of business. So do you need to reset? But I've been doing my very first full bust adjustments on patterns this week. And it's really given me a lot of insight into how you place them. And so it's sort of quasi research for our knitted bust darts. But yes, there are knitted bust darts. And it is it's just been a really popular question that you all have. So we're trying to answer your question. But they exist. We'll show you some examples, and then we'll probably end up talking about just general fit, because that's my passion. I know it's Allyson's too.
Yeah, that's what our level ups usually turn into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So but I feel a lot more confident than I did a couple days ago in just general principles of fit, because I was like, I don't actually know. It's time to dig into this. So
yeah,
I've been thinking a lot about busts.
I always think about busts.
You do. Yeah. So
yeah, that'll be something. That'll be tomorrow night. We'll see what happens.
It'll be fun. I think we should both make a velvet owl now that I have the recipe. So.
I know. That'll really tell you how I feel. All right. Well, we can go into Culture Corner, Laura.
Yeah.
We have everything wrapped up. Let's culture it up.
I think we'll have plenty of business to discuss next week as well. But for 1 week, that's plenty for the people. Come to Sweater Club. Come to Level Up and work on those sleeves in RSVP for Sock-tober. That's plenty of to-dos for 1 week.
Tons. Yeah, that's tons. All right. Laura, this week I asked a question in the party because people are knitting their faces off, and I said, what cultural thing are you consuming to get these sleeves done? And people really answered. It was a ton of totally different TV shows.
All over the place.
It was all over the place. And I read an interesting article after the Emmys on Sunday that was about how, because there's so much to stream, everybody streams different shit and nobody watches really anything anymore. So it's really hard to see who's doing what. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because it used to be like, well, and I still think we get that where everybody watches this or everybody watches this, but there really is so much. Like when I was reading the answers that people were giving into that question, there were a lot of shows that people were watching that I haven't even heard of.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the final kind of evolution of the algorithm. It gets so personalized that that's kind of it. I mean, we've been talking about like the end of monoculture a lot, but I wonder, I wonder, not to get too deep here on our live program, but I wonder if that is another reason why you enjoy live sporting events so much too, because it feels like the last moment where we can watch things all together. Because you just love community so much, but it's that is like really the last moment, like the Super Bowl or the Olympics is the last moment where it can be like, did you see? Did you see? It's like the last of the water cooler. I feel like the Game of Thrones is kind of the last big show which I didn't watch. Yeah, but I am curious about that. It was so interesting. Thank you for being vulnerable with me, because there were a lot of things in there where I was like, oh wow, never heard of her. Don't know this. What's that?
I feel like we both are pretty online, you know, like we're pretty, like we see there's a lot of shit going on. Like we know generally, as far as 40-year-olds go, we do kind of know what's going on, I would say. You know, we don't have children. We watch a lot of television. Like we watch a lot of things. And for us to be looking at a list of shit that people are watching and be like, I don't even know what this is. I don't even know where to find this. I have no idea what this is even about.
Yeah.
I feel like that really is like, there's just so much. It's impossible, which is why us as millennials have this like, not stigma, but we get made fun of a lot because we just keep watching Parks and Rec over and over again. Like we just keep watching Friends, like we just keep watching The Office over and over again. We do not consume new media that much, because where do you point yourself?
Right. And there, like, it's good and bad, just like all things, like change is good and bad. Like for me, there are ultimately the streaming networks want views. So, but that encourages them to not be creative, because they're just like, this worked, let's keep repeating this. So it's like there was one really good version of a sci-fi show, and then all of these derivative, like fantasy, it's always, you know, and it's like the same formula, and you're just like, it's not hitting the same way.
Again. Totally.
So you see a lot of the same thing of like, there's orphans that have magical powers and they're doing this, and you know, this or that, or that, but it's in space or whatever. And so it's rare that the new thing can break through, and it seems to be harder and harder. So finding it, needle in a haystack.
It was just why there's no good movies out anymore either. You know,
no. It's
just the same shit over and over and over again. It makes it really boring. And I used to get like every streaming program. I started being like, well, I'm going to put this on pause, because now this costs $20 a month, and this costs $20 a month, and this costs $20 a month. And that's really,
I know. We're going to dovetail back to cable being the cheapest option again. It's all just gonna
right, is so annoying. That's also why you don't go to movies that much either, because it's $18 to see a movie, and you're not just going to throw $18 at something that you're going to hate. You might as well wait 3 weeks until it's streaming on one of the things that you actually pay for. So I was thinking a lot about all of the people who won things, and you know, what people are actually watching. I feel like The Bear, everybody watches The Bear. I don't bear.
It wasn't for me. But it's so niche. Like you and I have this in common of like how we like to rank fake Chicago representations. But then everybody in Evanston gets very defensive because they're like, they film it here. You know, they film it here. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. That's fake Chicago, but
That's fake Chicago.
but that's my whole point. Freaking sitting under the Malort billboard. I can't. But
It's like actively distracting.
right.
When you're
Right.
like, oh yeah, I see the B-reel of the train going by the elevated tracks, and I see
Right.
right, and you're trying to do a South Side accent, but you're obviously from New Jersey.
Right.
I cannot. It's just
It's
then
tough.
you're like,
And I like that actor that's doing I like him. And it's just like, I get why people are excited about it, but it's just, it lost me. And so that's a me thing. Give it all the shmemmies. That's fine by me. But yeah, it's not, it was not hitting, which is a shame because I'm always like, okay, the next big cultural thing, I'll get on board. And then I'm like, oh, well, time to watch the Roosevelts again. So
I haven't checked in with the American Civil War in a while. Let's see how that's doing.
Yes, but here is so then that just puts me back online watching dumb TikToks. So my question to you, Allyson, is have you heard of Pesto the penguin?
What's going on with him? I feel like there's a few animals that are doing weird things on the internet now.
So right now in Melbourne, Australia, there was a baby penguin that hatched, and or she, they don't know, it's too soon to know, has grown larger than all of the other penguins that they have at the zoo.
Oh,
and
yes,
it is like 3 months.
This one. The fat baby penguin. Yes,
it is huge. Baby Pesto is giant, and he is walking around a good head taller than all the other penguins in Melbourne.
That's how I felt in 5th grade, so
yeah,
I understand.
Totally. And heartbreakingly, Pesto's mother was passed away shortly after the egg was laid, but Pesto's mom's name was Basil, and that is why they named Pesto, which is very sweet. But Pesto is going to be huge, and I'm hoping everyone is just calling Pesto a he because he's huge, but I'm hoping it's actually a woman, and she is just going to be the queen, king, emperor penguin. So that is very fun to see what Pesto's up to.
There used to be like 6-foot high penguins.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is like the missing link.
The last of the 6. Who knows?
I would watch that series. Who's making that? Who's making that limited series?
Let's get on it. Let's do it. So that's monoculture. We can all get behind giant penguin.
Yes.
Giant penguin news.
Yes. And Laura, to your point about sports, now I do feel like we talk about sports too much around here. But who cares, really?
I mean, at this point, people are tuning out. So
yeah, the pygmy hippo. That's another one that keeps popping up for me.
Oh, yeah. I do love hippos. They're so scary, but not in that scene.
I know. I really like a really adorable thing that will kill you without even blinking.
Yeah,
that's a passion project of mine. Yeah,
nature.
But yeah, so sports are sporting pretty hard right now.
Yes, your sports in particular.
Sports are sporting really hard. In baseball, there's about, I don't know, like a week and a half left of baseball games, which means that the good teams are clinching playoff spots, including, Laura, yesterday, the Milwaukee Brewers were the first team to clinch a playoff spot. So that's big, followed by the Yankees. Boo, who cares, boring. But the Brewers are in, and there are some hotly contested races going on right now, and the one that's the closest is my baby Detroit Tigers are fighting so hard to make a little wild card spot, and I'm so proud of them. They're playing so well. They just swept the Kansas City Royals, Laura. They won 3 games in a row, and they are going to be even with the Twins for a wild card spot It's a huge deal, and it's totally that monoculture thing, because the people that you haven't talked to in a year since your team sucked and didn't make the playoffs are all up your ass, and that's all you do all day is talk to people about baseball who are now clued into what's going on, and everyone's freaking out at the same time. So it's super fun. It's super exciting. One thing that makes me very nervous, though, is no one has been paying attention to how well the Tigers are playing until yesterday. And now they're all, now it's like, oh, MLB is like, wow, the Tigers are the best team in baseball. Tigers have the best record in baseball. Oh my God, the Tigers. And I wanted to just live under this radar and just like pop up. I don't want people to know that we're doing so well. So we can just show up in Kansas City and slice your heads off. That's what I like to do. And so now they're getting a lot of press, and I am not into it. So if anybody starts talking to you about the Detroit Tigers, say, well, I heard they're not that good. That's for me.
Start lowering expectations.
Exactly.
I see. Stealth campaign.
Yeah. But yeah, so every day it's just chaos and wild, and it's just torture, total torture. And I love it so much.
Well, I feel like I can also contribute to other like current event things that also support what you already know, Allyson, which is that you are right a lot. And two things that support that. Number one, there's this article that has gone viral here in Chicago about how badly we need rain because the city stinks. And 3 days before that was published, Allyson made that observation to me, and just like, we need rain so bad. Don't you smell how bad things are? And I was like, oh, I hadn't really. And then I was walking home, and I was like,
barely smell. This nose barely works.
The whole city smells like a hamster cage.
It hasn't rained in 3 weeks. It is.
Yeah, it's dog pee everywhere. It just stank. And so I was like, yeah, that is rough. And then 3 days later, I was like, did you see this article with this clever take? And I was like, I've been new because of Allyson.
Too long. I know how this works.
And so Allyson already knew about that. And then that article's been making the rounds from Block Club. It is quite amusing, but Allyson got there first. She scooped him. And then there is news, such as it is, out of the Chicago White Sox that they just hired the most nonsense, like former Marine as like a project manager to whip them into shape, who has never done anything professionally in baseball ever. I don't even know if he doesn't have like a title, but he's just like, they're like, things are bad. We need help. And here's who we need to hire. Some dude, because he's a Marine. It's like, that was the article. Everyone was like, they were like, bold move from Chicago White Sox to help them figure it out. Here's a man with zero baseball experience. And I was just like, Allyson was like, here's all these things that they could do. They'd be so smart and good for them, but they won't do that because they never do that. And lo and behold, this is the nonsense. It's going to sound like, he doesn't have any, I think he rode crew at Princeton or something. So it's not. Granted, if we're trying to Ted Lasso, again, I don't think he is in like a coaching scenario. So I'm not sure. But at this point, Allyson, I would just like to once again encourage you to submit your resume.
I know.
You might as well.
Good job at that job. And so Natalie, I went on a fucking tear when Laura and I were just at the Tigers White Sox game last month. And I said, in a Ted Lasso-y kind of way, that the smartest thing that the White Sox could do is hire some woman in the program to be the manager, because she is in a no-win situation. Whatever she does is going to be fine, because that team is the worst team in the history of baseball. If there is a woman active on an assistant coach of like their single A, whatever, like whatever's going on, she has worked her fucking ass off to get that shitty job. Laura's frozen, but and she will continue to work really hard. to be, oh, now Laura's gone. Is it me? Can you hear me? Well, this is what happens when I start yelling about baseball. Everyone leaves. We hear you. Thanks, Barbara. Laura's gone because this is what happens when I start yelling about baseball. But if any woman would be doing a better job, and you'd get the headlines, you could make a movie about that. It would be amazing. So yes, they're tad little swinging the wrong way. Laura's back. Maybe?
Yes.
Hi.
I just hit buttons. Hi.
Oh, great. So yeah, they have fucked this up even worse than I thought they were gonna fuck it up. So yeah, no surprise there. White Sox got a White Sox. Oh, no, she's gone again. Well, this is a great time to wrap up since all the technology is failing us today. But if you are still with me, or keeps coming and going, thanks for hanging out. Next week, we are going to be wrapping up Sleeptember. We're going to have more FOs, hopefully. Maybe it'll be cool enough to actually wear some of these sweaters. That'll be exciting. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.